Good morning and welcome to Vic and Vern Sports Show. I'm Vic and welcome to Across the Pond. Yeah, a little bit later than normal, a little bit earlier for the Americans. Yeah, you got to be flexible. You got to be flexible. What a week of sports we've had in the USA, Mexico, Canada, North America, across the pond as we call it. Guys, lots to get into this morning, and don't have a lot of time because Vern's morning show is coming up at 7, so we don't want to run into his time. Oh, there we go. Look at the topics today. I'll take that Super Bowl away quickly. 1 second. There you go. So, of course, we're going to talk about the NFL playoffs. We had the divisional round. We're going to talk about that. Of course, the college football, the final. We know who the champion is. Congratulations to the Indiana Hoosiers. Well done to Miami. I thought it was a fantastic game. Look at the NBA. Look at the standings, a little bit of the stats, same with NHL, and then we'll talk a little bit of NCAA basketball. Got to talk about the WNBA as well. The contract negotiations are not going so well. If you want more than you think you're worth, there becomes a problem. The new NASCAR season's around the corner as well. The IndyCar season is coming up, so lots to talk about. But as per usual, let's start. Let's start with telling you to like, to subscribe, and hit the notification button. That's the most important thing, because we're on our way to 133,000. Now I can put down the countdown to the Super Bowl. It's only 15 days to go, guys. 15 days to go. I can't wait. And 18 hours and 58 minutes. There you go. But let me take that away. There you go. So let's talk about those college football playoffs. There it is. Indiana against Miami. I mean, how do I put this? Indiana, your first title ever. Well done. I mean, from being a non-college program in football, everybody knows the Indiana for the basketball, Bobby Knight, all that, that history. But now you are a football franchise, baby. And look, man, you did it in the home. You did it at Miami's home field. Look, they had home field advantage, whatever you want to call it. It was a defensive game. I mean, the first half, 10-0 for the Hoosiers. Both quarterbacks, I thought, played solid. Mendoza, obviously the star of the show once again. I mean, not because he threw for 1,000 yards or something like that, but the grit that the man showed, that rushing touchdown, proved to me that he has to be, if you're looking for a quarterback, he's going number one. And I can't see the Raiders not parting up. The Raiders will go out for number one. I think Mendoza will be a Las Vegas Raider. Now, is that a good place for a young man to go to, Las Vegas? Most probably not. But, I think the Raiders will take him number one. But look, no, I mean, the running backs, Fletcher did well for Miami. Hemby did well for Indiana. Giganetti, the coach of Indiana, I mean, what a program he's put together there. I felt there for the coach of Miami. But, look, did the better team win at the end? Yes. Did I want Miami to win? Yes, but it didn't happen. No, but I mean, look, the Hoosiers all the way. Great program. Great win for them. And they made history. I mean, they went 16-0 this season. What can you say? And we'll see what happens next year. Look, Fernando Mendoza will not be there. He'll be in the NFL. His brother has just left Indiana as well. Transferred to Georgia, to the Bulldogs. So, interesting there. So they're going to have to build up a little bit again. But look, they're going to get good recruits now, because now a lot of good players will say, hey, that's a program I want to go to. So they'll be all right. They will be all right. Then we move on to the NFL, the wild card weekend. Let me just take that Super Bowl thing away. It's annoying me. And what a weekend we had there. The Bulls losing in OT to the Broncos. Sean McDermott getting fired by the Bills afterwards. So, Bills looking for a new coach. Josh Allen, maybe the best quarterback left in the playoffs, is out. I was Whoop. It kind of surprised me that the Bills didn't win. I'll be honest with you. Look, can't have 5 turnovers. You're not going to win any football games with 5 turnovers. Let's be very, very honest. You're not winning football with 5 turnovers. McDermott came out afterwards. Oh, the refs are... No. You turn the ball over 5 times, you're not winning the game. 49ers just got thrashed by the Seahawks. I had a guy live in the stadium, Dominic. We were chatting all the time. I mean, you start the game off with a kickoff touchdown return. You can't start the game a lot better if you're the Seahawks, and the 49ers never found into the game. They had no offense. I mean, McCaffrey wasn't going to do it on his own. I mean, they had no other weapons. 1 second. The big sneeze, there you go. Big sneeze there in San Francisco as well. But look, San Francisco's going to be all right. They got a good team, and they just need to get healthy. I mean, they just lost too many weapons this year. Texans against the Patriots. I mean, was there a worse performance than CJ Stroud on the weekend? 4 interceptions in the first half. You can't win a game like that. Crazy weather there in New England. Lots of snow and stuff like that. Look, the Patriots just did what they had to do. Now they got the Broncos, Broncos lost their quarterback. I mean, Bo Nix out for the season, fractured foot, had an operation on Tuesday. So Jarrett Stidham has to take his role. So it's looking good for the Patriots. Yes, baby. And then the Rams beating the Bears in OT on a walk-off field goal. Look, I can't see the Rams beating the Seahawks. I cannot see. I can only see a Seahawks-Patriots final here. I'm trying to project this. I'm trying to influence this. I would love that. That would be the greatest for me. Seahawks against the Patriots would be very, very interesting. So that's coming up this weekend, live on this channel. Seahawks, Rams, Broncos, Patriots, all the games live on Sunday here with me. Then let's have a look. Hey, look, the NHL, NFL. Why am I always saying NHL? The NFL, there were 10 openings for new coaches. I mean, if you're looking to coach an NFL team, your chances have never been this good. Because the hiring and firing in the NFL has reached new heights. So let's see who's got a job, which team is still looking for somebody. Look at the Falcons. It is Kevin Stefanski. He is the new head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, coming over from Cleveland. I think it's a good fix for him. Look, they're going to want to be in the playoffs straight away. So pressure's there. But look, they did finish strong this season. They've got good young quarterback. They've got a good core in the offense. They've got a good defense. I think Stefanski's landed a good job there. Then we move on to the Giants. Well, the Giants, they took John Harbaugh. And that means playoffs, baby. I mean, look, Jackson Dart, I think they've got the right quarterback. I think they've got the right coach for this quarterback. This man did phenomenally well for the Ravens. I think he'll do well for the New York Giants. I can see the Giants playoffs next year. I see Giants playoffs. I see the Falcons in the playoffs with these two coaches. So good moves for them. The Dolphins has gone with Jeff Hafley. He comes up from the college ranks now. I don't know that much about the guy, but you got a big job there in Miami. What do you do with Tua? Is he the right man? Are you going in a different direction? Tyreek Hill, don't know what's going to happen there. They got to fix their offensive line. They got to fix their defense. Got a lot of work there. He needs to get in some good coordinators. So we'll see what he does there. Then the Titans. I like this one. The Tennessee Titans have gone with Robert Saleh. People know him. He coached the Jets last season. He was the defensive coordinator of the San Francisco 49ers this year. Did a phenomenal job. I like Robert Saleh. I will be rooting for him next year. The Titans, they got to fix a lot of things everywhere. So he's got a big job ahead of him. But this man is a defensive guru. He's got to pick a good offensive coordinator to work with a young quarterback. But I think Tennessee, do they make the playoffs? I do not know. We'll see what what they recruit and stuff like that. I mean, they've had 2-3 seasons now, 3-14. So the only way is up, as they say, as Kylie Minogue would sing. The only way is up. So good stuff there. Then look, we've got a lot of teams. We've got a lot of teams still looking for a quarterback. For a coach. Look, I've ranked them now as the sexiest to the least sexiest. Look, the Bills. If you're a head coach, you want to go to the Bills. You've got the quarterback. You've got you've got the tight ends. You've got the running. You've got everything at the Bulls, basically. Maybe you need to improve the defense a little bit, but maybe I think that's still the best job opening at the moment. Then, of course, the Ravens, another good job opening there. You've also got the quarterback. You've got the team. Maybe got to look for a new wide receiver. I think you've got to move on from what's his name. Can't get the name, but you've got a little bit of work there. But I think that's a cool job to have. Steelers still looking for a head coach. Is Aaron Rodgers still going to come back? If Aaron Rodgers comes back, I think you've got to draft a quarterback this year. You have got to take a quarterback. Even if Rodgers comes back, you've got to take a quarterback and build him up, because if Rodgers comes back to be his last season, got a lot of work there. Yes, you've got a good defense as usual in Steeler Nation, but let's see what happens there. The Raiders got the number 1 pick. I'll show you that afterwards in the draft. So I think Fernando Mendoza is going to the Raiders. I think he'll be instantly a good quarterback. Will he get you to the playoffs? Most probably not, because the team needs a lot of work. But I think you could have around about a 7-8 game winning season with the Raiders, with that kid. So that's another good job out there. Then, of course, the Browns. Yeah, the Browns, it's Cleveland, baby. They screw up everything. Doesn't matter. I mean, geez, in the last 20 years, what have they drafted on quarterback? Now they've got about 5 quarterbacks on their roster, all earning a lot of money, especially just Deshaun Watson. What are you going to do with him? Is his career over? I mean, we don't know. And then the Cardinals, a lot of big choices to be made for the Cardinals. If I was a coach, that would be the last option. If I'm doing all the interviews and stuff like that, we'll see. I mean, Bill Belichick has been brought into the fray there. People are saying Bill Belichick should be going to the Bills. Bill and the Bills would be quite good, We've still got a lot of good coaches out there that need a job. It's going to be interesting the next 1 or 2 weeks. I think we'll have all the coaches finalized within the next 2 to 3 weeks. So we'll be keeping you updated on that. Let's have a look at the draft picks, because that's important. Look, the Raiders get the number 1 pick. The Jets 2, Cardinals 3, and the Titans 4. As you can see, the only team not looking for a coach there are the Jets at the moment. The Giants have found theirs. The Browns are looking for one. So as you can see there, there's a lot of good talent out there in the draft. But I think the Raiders go number 1, Mendoza. I do think that. And then you can see how the cookie crumbles and how the chips fall after that. Let me just have a look into the chat this morning. I haven't had a look there yet, Bad on my behalf. There you go. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Let's have a look at that poll quickly there before we leave the NFL. Who wins the Super Bowl? 30% think Seahawks, 27% think Rams, 27% think Patriots, and 70% with the Broncos. Let's move into the NBA. There you go. Those results, those are the games that are coming out today. Vern will be filling those in 45 minutes for the morning show. So check that out. You'll get all the results. Those are the upcoming games from last night. I'm not going to spoil it and put any results in there. Vern's going to be doing that. But here we go. Eastern Conference. Let's have a look at that. Look, the Pistons out in front there on a 4-game winning streak. 5.5 games ahead of Boston. And for me, I think Detroit State is number 1. Boston will be there. New York will be there. For me, the big surprise is a little bit Toronto, that high up in the table. Cleveland, Philadelphia. Look, Philadelphia is going to be strong. I think Tyrese Maxey having a great season there. The Magic, I'm surprised the Magic are that good as well. My Miami Heat, 8th. Look, for me, the only question is Milwaukee Bucks. Are the Milwaukee Bucks going to knock out somebody and get into the playoffs or not? And are they going to trade Giannis? Because Milwaukee is a terrible basketball team this year. I mean, without Giannis, they're just terrible, man. I think they need a rebuild there. I think that go out, trade Giannis, get a 4-5 first round picks. I think a lot of teams would pick him up straight away. So I think we're going to see a Giannis trade. I honestly think we're going to. He said he will not request a trade. But if you're the Milwaukee Bucks, trade him, man. You're going nowhere with this franchise at the moment. Nowhere. You don't have enough pieces anymore. You've got to do something. You've got to do something. Look, and the other teams, the Hornets, the Nets, the Wizards, and the Pacers, they're not going anywhere this year. In the West, it's still the Oklahoma City Thunder out in front there, ahead of the San Antonio Spurs, the Denver Nuggets. I think a lot will change there. I think the Nuggets will get that second spot the minute Jokic is back. I think the Rockets will get third. They're on a 3-game winning streak. I like the Rockets. I've had the Rockets the whole season as the NBA champions. I think they win the championship this year. They stay healthy. They've got a fantastic team of winning, chance of winning. Lakers, I think the Lakers are going to go south sooner than later. Phoenix, okay. Minnesota, surprisingly, but on a 3-game losing streak at the moment. What I see there, look, I actually see the Mavericks and the Clippers making the playoffs. I'll see Portland dropping out. I think Portland drops out of the playoff race. The Warriors, a little bit of bother there now with the injury to Jimmy Butler there. Look, Sacramento Kings, I think they'll make a little bit of a comeback, but I don't think they'll make the playoffs. The Pelicans, they are done because they can't win a game. Look, they've won 10 games all season. They're not going to win a lot more. I don't think they get to 20 wins this season. I don't think they get to 20 wins. That is just my thing. So, only change I see there is I think Dallas will take the spot of Portland, and that's it for me. Then let's have a look at the stats, baby. Yeah, it's still Luka on 33.5 points per game there, ahead of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 31 and Tyrese Maxey with 30. Anthony Edwards on 29.9 and Jaylen Brown on 29. We could have 5 guys with averaging over 30 this season in the NBA. That would be quite astonishing. Then assists, it's still Nikola Jokic with 11 assists a game. Well, he's not going to get less because he's injured at the moment. Cade Cunningham, that's the reason Detroit is that strong. Luka Doncic, actually quite good with the assists this year. James Harden in there as well. Then let's have a look at the rebounds. Well, the Joker on top of the rebounds, ahead of Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert, Donovan Kilgan, and Ivica Zubac of the LA Clippers. Let's have a look at the blocks. Alex Zar blocking 2.2 a game for the Washington. It's funny that the bad teams have got good shot blockers there. Huh? Jay Huff and Alex Zar. Yeah. And then we look at Tyrese Maxey leading the steal race. Look, Tyrese Maxey for me is in the MVP race. I don't have him as a favorite for the MVP, but if I'm picking 5 players, Tyrese Maxey is in there. I got Luka in there. I got Nikola Jokic in there. Depending if Nikola Jokic gets enough games, I've got. I think you got to put Wemby in there this year. You got to put. I like Donovan Mitchell in there. I like Tyrese Maxey in there. Depending on the rest of the season, Anthony Edwards could get into it. But for me, the front runner is Nikola Jokic if he gets enough games. There we go. Then let's have a look at our friends there in the hockey land, baby. As I said, the results will be popping up very shortly there. Vern will be adding them in at the morning show. Do join him in about 45 minutes for that. But let's have a look at the Eastern Conference standings. Look, the Tampa Bay Lightning, I mean, for me, the hottest team at the moment. They won 9 out of the last 10. I think they've won 14 out of the last 15. They're on starting to rack up some points. They've overtaken the Hurricanes there, ahead of the Red Wings, the Montreal Canadiens, the Buffalo Sabres, the New York Islanders, and the Bruins. Who do I see not? The Rangers, I don't think they're making the playoffs. The Columbus Blue Jackets, Senators. I still think the Florida Panthers are going to make a run. I don't think the Devils will make it. The Capitals neither. Yeah, it's not looking good for a lot of good teams this year. But I still think the Florida Panthers make a run and get into the playoffs again. In the West, well, the only team you can talk about there is the Colorado Avalanche, the number one team in all of the NHL. Dallas Stars doing well, the Wild, my Golden Knights, the Mammoth, I like them, doing well, and the Ducks as well. Look, Vancouver, definitely the worst team in NHL at the moment, 11-game losing streak, they done, and I think that's the only team that's really done a little bit of a run. The Blues, the Jets, the Blackhawks could actually still get into it. We'll see what happens there. Have a look at the stats in the NHL. Still Nathan McKinnon and Connor McDavid, both on 85 points. Leon Draisaitl there at the bottom. Look, you got two Edmonton Oilers in there. I think Edmonton. Let's go back to the Oilers there. Yeah, look, they're in 5th spot there. I think the Oilers are going to make the playoffs with these two guys. Then let's have a look at the goal scorers. That is Nathan McKinnon with 38, ahead of Connor McDavid with 30. At the bottom there's Sid the Kid Crosby. He's still doing strong, man. Like him. But I don't think the Steelers. Yeah, it is Pittsburgh, but it's the Penguins. They're not going anywhere this year. Then in the save percentage, we have Devin Cooley of the Calgary Flames, best save percentage there. And best goals against is against Cooley and Vasilevsky of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Well, you can see why the Lightning are that strong. You got a good goalkeeper. That's important. In the NHL, good goalkeeper gets you a far way, baby. If you've got somebody that can save the shots, there you go. Then let's move quickly into the results of the college this morning, because Vern doesn't do college. There you go. Arizona beat Cincinnati 77-51. Nebraska beating Washington 76-66. Gonzaga, the Bulldogs, beating Pepperdine 84-60. Illinois beating Maryland 89-70. And North Carolina, the Tar Heels, beating the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame 91-69. Let's have a look at the table there, or the rankings. Look, it's still Arizona. Well, Arizona's on top there, ahead of UConn, Michigan, Purdue, and Duke. I can't wait for March Madness, baby. It's about, what is it? We got almost the end of January, so we've got about 7-8 weeks, and then we'll be full into March Madness. I'll be doing a hell of a lot of those games on the channel live. I love March Madness. Especially I like the first round of March Madness. You know, when you get that 16th seed battle there, I like that. I like that a lot. Can't wait to fill out my bracket. I'm going to have a bracket show on here as well. We'll fill it out together. The bracketology, you know, like George Bush would say, it's going to be fantasticology. There you go. Going to enjoy that. Then let's have a look at the ladies' results quickly. UCLA, the Bruins knocked off Purdue 87-44. BYU beat the Texas Tech Lady Raiders, they 73-61. Washington beat Penn State 81-65. Baylor knocked off USCF 73-48. West Virginia beat Arizona 53-43. Not a lot of scoring there. Washington beat Nebraska 63-60. Let's have a look at the women's tables quickly. There you go. Look, it's UConn. UConn are doing well. Men in second, women in first. So the Huskies are ahead of the South Carolina Gamecocks and the UCLA Bruins. Texas Longhorns are in fourth. Vanderbilt in fifth. LSU Tigers in sixth. Michigan Wolverines in seventh. The Louisville Cardinals in eighth. Then the Texas Christian University out there. What's it? The Horned Frogs or the Bullfrogs? Or I can't remember their name. I should know it because I watch Landman, and Landman is the one chick there is at TCU, man. Should know that. But look, love the women's one. I will be doing the women's as well. Won't be doing as many as in the men's game, but I'll definitely be doing the semi-finals and the finals of the ladies. Definitely. Can't wait for that. National championship. That's going to be very, very interesting. And then let me plug that at the bottom. Super Bowl, baby. 15 hours, 15 days, 18 hours, only 35 minutes to go. So at the time it's ticking. Going to be great. We're going to have a Super Bowl party. Me and Vern will be doing that one together. I'm still hoping Seattle Seahawks against Patriots. That would, I'd be invested in that one. Let's put it that way. I've got my Patriots helmet there, you know, with the snack helmet when you're having all that stuff going on. But that's across the pond for this week. Next week we'll be back with introducing another state. I don't know which one yet. Maybe you guys can give me a shout out and let me know which one you think is best. We've done a few of them. We've done California, New York, Illinois, Florida, Texas. So we'll see what we do next. But guys, that was Across the Pond, your weekly North American sports update. Look, big weekend coming up in the NFL. Big weekend. I'm so excited. Can my Patriots go to Mile High City there in Denver and get the win? Can Drake May become our new savior? Can he start the dynasty? Can he start the next dynasty? Can he start walking in the footsteps of Tom Brady? Nah, that's unfair to the kid, man. But I like Vrabel as the coach. And I'm hoping Bill Belichick comes back and goes and coaches the Bills or the Ravens. Bill Belichick at the Ravens or the Bills, and I'm telling you now, baby, you boys are going to the Super Bowl. That's what I think. You'll get in some good coordinators and stuff like that. If you're the Bills Mafia, phone old Billy Boy Belichick and get him out of North Carolina and get him to the Bills, man. That's what I'm saying. That's my message for today. Guys, otherwise, have a wonderful day, wonderful evening if you're in North America. Enjoy the sports. Join us this weekend. We're going to have a lot of things on the channel. And in exactly 34 minutes, join Vern for the Daily Sports Update Show. So check that out, guys. Have a great one. Thanks for joining in. Ciao, ciao.